Okay, good. As per the request, start immediately with the guide. We are going to explore some of the very common, yes, attacks. We saw the DNS poison, DNS cache poison. They are actually poison. We'll explore them. We'll try to implement such an attack. Beside of that, we are going to refer to a DOS attack, and we'll see how to generate a DOS attack. We'll create a file to automate this DOS attack, and later on we will deal with the registry actually to see some modifications brought to the registry due to an attack or due to a malware. So we explore that step by step. Starting with the first request, which is with the first task, which is actually tackling the as per the theory we explained the very common and very let's say the sorts of attacks that we can face daily, that we can survive, we can not survive, but we can live ourselves. It's not restricted to a dedicated platform or to dedicated parties. When we talk about the DNS poison, cache poison, DNS cache poison, or the let's dig in. Let's dig in. So, as per the first task, actually, the graph here it demonstrates that somebody is trying to open the Facebook, but he's receiving this message somehow. So actually, the DNS poison or the DNS cache poison or the poison, it is a scenario via which uh, we deny the access to the resource, to the main resource, but mainly it's not the purpose to display a message. We redirect, we deface, but not to hide the content or to display something like that. So this is due to an injection. This message is displayed to us like this due to an injection, not exactly the DNS poison. But just to demonstrate to you that DNS poison or DNS cache poison or ERP poison can lead to something like this. Let's begin step by step, and we start with the DNS poison, uh, and we will see what we can do. So we'll deny the access to an resource, to an online resource, and this resource not only it's not only we are going to deny the access, but also we are going to deface the trials. So let me just open any domain. I'm going to just try to open the Bay. Let's say FaberBay.com. This is my domain because remember the probe and it's not allowed to probe a destination or a resource. It's not allowed. So it's not, you have to get the consent. We are actually having this is our own domain, so you are free to probe it as for the learning purposes, no more no less. So this is the C2C, let's say application, but whatever. So you are required to we'll practice on this. So I open it, I click any link inside, so it works very fine. So there is no issue at all. So anything I can find actually, even I can make a login request or let's say a registration request or something like that. It works very fine. I come back to the main page. It works very fine. So there is no issue at all. The domain is working. That's great. I can even browse the categories. Yes, yes, everything is running very fine. Great. So what's the problem? There's no problem here. Now let's dig in the DNS poison process in order to deny the access to this domain, and we see how to step by step. So the DNS poisoning actually it is a sort of an attack via which we falsify the matching in between. We falsify the matching in between what and what. Let me open the notepad to write between the domain and the IP address, the server IP address, where the host is. So, example we say here, actually the domain is the FaberBay.com. come on, FavaBay.com, and sorry, and the domain here is the sorry, the IP. For example, we say 10.25.211. Let's say 10, whatever, any IP address, or dot 120, whatever, any IP address. It's class A. This is class A IP address. So this is sort of a match. These are, let's say, let's be more specific. Actually, I'm going to extract the correct IP address for this FavaBay.com. To be more specific, I'm going to say I'm gonna let's look up. Come on, let's look up. Then I'm going to say FavaBay.com. Okay, so the IP address for this FavaBay.com is this one. The FavaBay.com. Okay, this is the IP address. I'm going to copy it to utilize it later on. So I'm going to use it later on. So this is the real IP address for this FavaBay.com. Okay, so the system, the domain, the DNS, it works like so. It matches the FavaBay.com requests with the IP address 66.96.147.159. This is the regular process. We are going to do our job in order to make this FavaBay be denied. How? By implementing DNS Poisoning. DNS Poison. And this DNS Poison will lead us to make a falsification. Will actually mismatch the domain to the IP address. That's it. We have to actually, since the domain is the FavaBay, we're going to attack this FavaBay.com. So we have to change the IP address, not the domain. We have to change the IP address. For example, I'm going to write something else, like instead of typing this one, we're going to type, sorry, come on. Instead of typing this one, I'm going to type the IP address of the Facebook. What is the Facebook? Facebook. So I'm going to say facebook.com. Okay. Okay. The facebook.com IP address is this IP address. I'm going to copy it. So instead of typing, instead of matching the FavaBay with its regular IP address, we will match the FavaBay with this IP address, which is the Facebook's IP address. So this way, we will be able to achieve the DNS poison attack. Okay, great. So let's dig in. So actually, in every single Windows-based operating system, there is a host. It's not only Windows, but mainly we talk about the Windows. There is a host file, which is actually having a local matching between the domains and the IP addresses, to be considered by the DNS protocol to match and to see if there is any primordial, let's say, links. Otherwise, it will go to the web, to the ISP, to the Internet Service Provider server. So the first work the DNS will look for is to look for the matching between the domains and their IP addresses on the local host file. What does it mean, local host file? And the computer we are using. So now I asked it, the computer, to open this FavaBay.com. It opened it for me. Before opening this thing, actually, the browser has actually invoked the DNS protocol to search for the FavaBay.com IP address, where in local computer, where exactly in the host file, to search for its IP address. If it's available, okay. If it's not available, it will go to the next destination, which is an LM host file. It's another file here available in the local also. If it's not available, it will go to the ISP, which is the Internet Service Provider. It's external. We don't care. Our attack will start from this host file to falsify the matching. We will insert this domain if it's not available, and we'll give a false IP destination. So let's find this host file first. Let's search for the host file first. Okay, Jawahar, why are you coming late? Jawahar, why you are coming late? Jawahar. So to find this host, actually, it is I know actually myself because I know this file. So in the C drive, Windows, System 32, then etc, then config, I believe, first of all. Config, then etc here. Actually, yes. So here we will be blocked by the user account control window. We have to give actually an administrator access. So because of this only, I'm going to move to the virtual machine. Because of this one, I'm going to move to the virtual machine. I have my virtual machine already running. So immediately I'm going to swap my process, my machine to full screen mode. I'll close this one. Yes. So I said C drive. Windows, System 32, config. It's not here. I have to search for the etc. I have to search for the etc. It's not here. Did I miss? I'm gonna search for the etc. Working on it. Yes, here it is. Drivers. Yes, it's inside the drivers. Sorry, so I missed. Drivers. Here it is. And in here we have the etc. And in the etc we have the host spike. And also we have the LM hosts. But we need the hosts for now. We need the host. It's a file without extension. It's a file without extension. It's a file without extension. I'm going to open it with the notepad. Open with notepad. It will open very fine, absolutely. Every line that starts with a hash is a command. Every line that starts with a hash is a command. So everything is command here. Nothing is. I'm going to add a new line. I'm going to type Bay. .com tab space, and I'm gonna say the 66. Come on, the 66 IP address dot what? Let me check it. No, I'll do it again here. I'm gonna use the local command prompt. Okay. Okay. So 66 dot 96 dot 147 dot 159 dot. Okay, that's great. So I have my match in here. Coverby.com is this one. So this is the regular IP address. I'm gonna save this file. File save. See, file save. I saved. Close. Open it. Notepad. Yes, I'm gonna choose to open it with Notepad. Yes, here we have it. Great. So I'm gonna close. I'm gonna open now. I'm gonna refer to my browser. Here I have only the Edge here in this computer, in this virtual machine. And I'm gonna open the Faberbay.com. The Faberbay.com. We need actually a match in between the Faberbay.com and its regular IP address. It worked. It opened. Great. So we have no issue. Refresh. It works very fine. I'm gonna use the links inside. Here actually through the menu, whatever. So the components here, I'm just to demonstrate that it is working very fine without any issue, and come back to the main menu. See, notes usually the domain, what is it? It's farmerbay.com. What I'm going to do right away is the modification of these hosts by changing this IP address, into the one we were explaining. I was saying that I'm going to use, for example, the Facebook's IP address, for example. I'm going to just extract the Facebook again, facebook.com. Okay, so this is the IP address of this Facebook. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to swap it. I'm going to put it here. So instead of the regular, I'm using now the Facebook's address, IP address. Save. Done. Saved. Okay. Let's come back to our browser now. I'll keep this one open. I'll open a new tab, and I'm gonna call the farmerbay.com. farmerbay.com. Good. Still working. I'm gonna open the Facebook. Control F, Control T, sorry. Facebook.com, because I know that the Facebook actually is not it's not having one IP, it is having more than one IP address, so it works very fine. So our attack actually did not succeed. It did not succeed so far. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to restart the full machine. I'm going to restart the full machine to be sure that this machine here is working very fine. So what actually sorry, I did a mistake here. I did actually it's my miss sentence. The IP address has to be in the first position. So I'm gonna cut this one. Keep the IP address there. Paste the domain.
مستر
Yes, Mustafa.
مستر في طالبة تريد اقبلها في الجروب لأن ما كان عندهم كهرباء ولا ايش.
Iman. Oh, okay, yes, خلاص. Great. So here is the machine. Save, and let's come back now to the browser. We have this one running. I'm going to refresh this call here. No, it is not running. Your connection is not private. I'll try to tell him, yes, proceed, please. Continue to ForwardPay. Save and save. No, sorry, something went wrong. Something went wrong. I'm sorry, he said. I'm sorry. And he brought me the icon of what? He brought me the icon of what? Of Facebook. We succeeded. We succeeded. I'm going to close everything, and I'm going to open again any browser. I have this one, and I have the Explorer also. I'm going to open the farmerbay.com, enter. No, it opened me. It brought me the icon of the Facebook. Something went wrong. No, it will not run. But the favicon of the website is the DiraBay, is the ForwardPay, is the domain actually. We are our domain. It's my the ForwardPay. I know. But the icon of the page is Facebook. So the DNS Poison we did, it has succeeded. I'm going to open another browser. Actually, if I find it, Explorer. This is the one, Internet Explorer. Yes, I'm going to open. And I'll see. I'll try to open the farmerbay.com also again. farmerbay.com. It is working very fine here. It is working very fine. Let me just refresh again. It is working very fine. You know why? Because it has been redirected to the www.farmerbay.com, not to the farmerbay.com. I'm going to delete the www. Enter. No, this is insecure, not secure. So it is successful. The DNS poison we did, it is successful. Actually, just for your knowledge only, ForwardBay.com is not www.forwardbay.com. It's not. See, I'm going to open this edge again. I'm going to open the ForwardBay.com. No. I'm going to open the www.forwardbay.com, forwardbay.com, www. It works very fine. It works very fine. Why? Because www.forwardbay is not the same domain as forwardbay.com directly. To do it for this one also, I'm going to open refresh. It works very fine. Refresh. Oh, it works very fine. There is no problem. To do the DNS poison attack for this domain also, simply just add the same process here for this www.forwardbay.com, www.forwardbay.com. I'm going to save. Let's refresh this now, this www.forwardbay.com. Let's refresh, see. Refresh keyboard, Control F5. Control F5. It is not loading, see, it is not loading. It is not loading properly. I know that there is a problem, but still it's not loading. I'm going to copy it fully this address. The HTTPS. Copy it to where? Copy it to this location here. File save. That should be precise, no more, no less. I did save on that. Yes. Refresh. It has not to work, actually. It has not to. I'm going to close and I'll open again. I'll open the edge again because it might be loading anything from the cache. So forwardbay.com. It's still loading, but even though actually we succeeded in doing the thing for the forwardbay.com, let me check it again. Yeah, something went wrong. Here it is. This one is not needed, no. We only need the www and no slash forwardbay.com. I'm gonna make it for the Google. Save. Okay, refresh again. Yes. Because the IP address is already used, so it is not reading it. So when I change the IP address, it does not open. Advance, I'm going to tell him yes, please proceed. I'm going to tell him please proceed. 404. The Google did not accept. The Google did not accept. I'm going to give an IP address of any other domain instead of the Google and instead of the Facebook. I'm going to give the Uniswa IP address. Uniswa.com, not the edu.1.com. So this is the IP address. Okay. I'm gonna give here the IP address of the uniswa.com. Okay, save. Refresh. Forwardbay.com. Yeah, here I said www.forwardbay.com. Enter. Yes, it does not go at all. No, no, then no. So we succeeded in doing this DNS cache poisoning, DNS poisoning attack. We were able to falsify. Actually, it will not return again. It will not go at all. But see, if I want to make a ping, the thing is actually it's working. This is to prove that the domain is very fine. Now, technically speaking, because the ping and to do a ping for the domain, if it's running or not, it's not a regular user will do that. Only if you understand that there is a problem related to the DNS or something like that. So I'm going to ping the ForwardBay.com, sorry. Bring in. Time it out. Just to bring your attention to something. Just to bring your attention to something. Ping in what? See the IP. What is this IP address? What is this IP address? It is the Facebook's IP address. It is the Facebook's IP address. So because of this, it is doing forward.com. I'm gonna change. See, still is doing the work. I'm gonna change here. I'm gonna change here. This line here. I'm gonna set it to be a command. Okay, the system will not read it, so I added it to be a command here. Save. I'm gonna cancel this process. Control C here, and I'm gonna ping again. Ping forward.com again. Enter. See the IP address now. It's not the same. It's not the same IP address. Earlier it pinged 157. Now it is pinged 66. It's not the same at all completely. So now this is the regular one. No, I'll just give it a little bit of time. It will give me a reply. Earlier it gave me request timed out. Now it will give me a regular reply. DNS cache poison. Actually, as per an advice and for learning purposes only, the DNS poison, you can do it at home for your computers, for your devices, as a parental control, because none will guess that this happened. Parental control to forbidding your kids from, for example, from opening games during the class time or opening the social media applications during the class time or something like that. So you just falsify the you do a DNS cache. Sorry, you do a DNS poison attack, something like that. They will never reach to open the thing. It will never open. It will never open. Whatever they do. So if I want to do the thing for the Facebook here, I'm going to demonstrate it for you here. Demonstrate facebook.com. So it works very fine. It works very fine. So I'm going to make the visitors of the facebook.com be redirected to the 66, the forwardbay.com. How to? So here the Facebook's working very fine. I'm going to add an entry for the facebook.com, but it points to the IP address of, let's say, www.facebook.com. That's it. Facebook dot. Here. Yes. But save. Save. I'll refresh this page. See here, facebook.com. I want to refresh. Still, it is doing the thing. Actually, still it is doing. It is running. Let me check again. Facebook is not there. So we're 66. It's a new IP address. So www.facebook.com. So we have no issue. I'm going to open facebook.com again. See what happens. Okay. Facebook.com. It works very fine. Still, there is a problem. So I'm going to take off this www. Okay, it's not running. It's running. I'm going to copy it. Paste it here. Click save. Refresh. I'm going to close everything and try to open again because it might read the cache. Facebook.com. Still working. Can you do the thing actually properly? Yes, we did it. It's proper. Actually, it works very fine, I know, but I'll try another domain from the Facebook, which is the fb.com. fb.com is also Facebook. I'm going to change this one to comment. Yes, so fb.com, fb.com. This site is under development. fb.com. No, actually, it is not under development because I know it's Facebook, but there is a problem here. And this reply is from the server only. It's not a DNS Poison. It's a server only. So actually, we do not need to go for explanation here for this. For Facebook.com. I'm gonna try it for another domain because it's not studied for this forwarding. This is an online domain, so it is valid for one, so valid for all. I'm gonna try it for the where.com. Let's say where.com. Yeah, it works very fine. I'm gonna extract the IP address of the twitter.com. Twitter.com. Let's say www.twitter.com. Okay. So aliases www.com. IP address. We have two addresses. I'm going to use the first because this might be the obstacle we faced with the Facebook. So I'm going to copy it. Copy. I'm going to do it here. I'm going to do it here in this host. So forwardbay.com, forwardbay.com. What is this? This is the IP address of the Twitter. And we are defacing it to forwardbay.com. I'm going to save. And I'm going to refresh here. Still it's not successful with those two domains. It's not successful with those two domains for a reason or another. But we don't care. Actually, I do not need twitter.com. No, see here the domain. Did I miss? No, we said twitter.com here, not for everything. So I'm gonna change this one with Twitter. Twitter.com. No need for the W. Okay, save. Refresh. Yes. Let me close and open the browser. It is not reading the cache. It is not reading the cache. Even let me check the LM host, the second file or apps. I'm gonna open Notepad. Yeah. All these commands, so there is no restrictions at all. Yes, all these commands, whatever is there, so no orders from no exceptions for any domain here. Only this one. So I'm gonna put the meter on first position. Save and test again. Refresh. Yes, here it is. Succeeded. We succeeded for the Twitter. Succeeded for the Twitter. So actually this way we are able to succeed in the DNS cache page. I tried actually with you in lifetime, so those are some considerations you have to tackle. But this way we were able to do, even if I use any other browser, it will not. It will not. I'm gonna open the clear here. Clear.com, this is the one I'm gonna try to open. No, there is a problem here. Actually, this website doesn't work with the Internet Explorer. It's not compatible. He's saying it's not compatible. It's not compatible, but if continue browsing, yes. I'm gonna say continue browsing. It is opening inside the edge. No, I opened it here. Sure. So there are constraints. There are constraints happen to run on this Explorer. So here it is redirecting us to the edge. Whatever. He actually, if you succeeded in one browser, the other one did not support, but the other browser that would actually do the same behavior. They will block. Let's pass to the second task. Let's pass to the second task here briefly. The ping of death is one of the DOS attacks, and it can be done actually in a distributed mode also. But here we're going to perform a DOS attack, denial of service attack, using the ping of death. The scenario of the ping of death is not the ping of death. The scenario of the DOS attack is that to bring a service to a dead state by compromising its resources. The resources here are the memory and the processor mainly. The resources here mainly they are the memory, the volatile memory, the RAM means, and the processor. If they are being occupied, so there will be no more legitimate request response. No, full stop. We are occupied, we are occupied, we are occupied, we are occupied. So this is a DOS attack. To do so, let's explore the capabilities of the ping query, or the ping yes query too. Let's explore the capabilities of the ping query. Pinging the whatever the local computer. I'm going to actually bring a computer here. I'm not going to bring a domain to a dead state. Denial of service. The machine, not the domain, not the www from a data.com or any other domain. No, it's a machine to be brought to a dead state. Server, network device, computer, any device can be actually facing the DOS attack. The example we are going to use to implement this DOS attack is the ping of death. The ping of death. Let's explore the ping capabilities first. Without talking a lot, without talking much. So here I'm gonna keep this one here. I'll come back to my virtual machine, full screen mode, command prompt. I'll keep this one like that. I'm gonna ping here. So here, I'm gonna ping the Facebook. So the Facebook address is 157. So I'm gonna say ping space 157. Request timed out. Actually, we have a restriction. Request timed out again. it is not doing the job. Good job. He's not going to that domain. I'm from the virtual machine. Remember, we have lost 100%. I'm gonna ping the machine where this host is running. I'll keep this one apart. And what is the IP address of the? Sorry, what is the IP address of the host and machine? So I'm gonna say here exit, and I'm gonna IP config. Enter. After the IP config, we have the configuration of the network, and this is what we need. This is what we need. Okay, I'm gonna ping this machine, the IP address of this machine. So actually it is in the campus, the IP address of this machine and the campus. I'm gonna copy it. You cannot copy it to the virtual machine. You have to type it. So let me come back to the virtual machine. Well, yes, here it is. So I'm gonna ping this IP address here. So ping 172.25. Come on. 172.26.115. And reply from. The others there was request timed out. So we were able to ping a destination. The next step is to specify what to do with this destination. This destination is on this IP address. So I'm gonna just do the IP, the ping of that attack on this IP address. Okay, let me come back to the full screen mode. So now I have the IP address of the local machine, and it is pinging from here, from within the body. So what I'm gonna do before I do anything, I'll exit this full screen mode. I'm inside the virtual machine. See, this is the virtual machine, and I'm gonna open the Explorer. The Explorer, let's press Explorer, the one we downloaded in an early class. Let's press Explorer, and then go to the Performance tab, and here we have our indicators. So we have our indicators here. We see the internet. One of those two. How it would actually interact. So ping again. So I'm going to do the same thing. Ping actually 172. Yes, just enter. Can I see any modification here? No, there is no modification. The three of them actually did not show any modification. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just call to execute this this ping, but for long number. That parameter he set. Yes, here actually let me just try to type it in the correct way. Oh, no, it's not a syntax. -t, I'm going to say, let him do the job. Yes, it will keep going on. Unstoppable. See the number of the requests here. utilization 360.36, and the others they are 000. Okay, I'm gonna stop here this execution. I'm gonna stop the process. Here it is, I stopped, and see what happened here. It is shown much more less. It is 40 now. Now sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes up. So here we were able, remember this is actually one ping, and the byte size actually it is 32 bits only, so it's very small, and we did not too much. We were able to do actually those 10 or 15, let's say, whatever this number of queries we passed, and thus we were able to see, to note the difference. See, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to ping the same destination with -t. It means infinite. Focus here. Yes, see, it is now, it is getting increased. I'm just watching the internet now. I'm just watching the internet. Whatever. So this way we were able to also generate a sort of a ping of death, because it would attack actually infinitely, and it was saved from the code. I'll stop this execution. I'll stop this process. This yes. So unless you have any questions, actually, unless you have any questions, I need you to later on in the demonstration, I need you to demonstrate actually to show the Ethernet effect on your computer, on your local computer. So based on that, actually, we will decide if the ping is being reached or not. So I'll stop the recorder and send you the recorder, but tell me if you have any requests.